When it came to the real estate market in the city of Vancouver for the month of October, which neighborhoods were the most favorable to buyers and which neighborhoods were the most favorable to sellers? In this market report video, I will be answering that question by sharing the top 3 neighborhoods for buyers and the top 3 neighborhoods for sellers for the condo, townhome, and detached home markets on the east side and the west side of Vancouver. And I'll also share some important tips that you need to keep in mind when analyzing inventory and assessing neighborhoods as buyers markets or sellers markets. Hey, what's up guys? Manny Graywell here with Oakwyn Realty. I help my clients successfully navigate through their buying and selling journeys while protecting their best interests and helping them make informed decisions. I will be assessing neighborhoods as the most favorable to buyers or sellers based on the sales to active listings ratio. The sales to active listings ratio compares demand to inventory levels and tells us if we're in a buyer's market, a balanced market, or a seller's market. For those of you who have already seen my videos, you are probably already familiar with the definition and details of this ratio and why it's one of the most important statistics that you should be monitoring. For those of you who are not familiar with this ratio, I will provide a link in the description section below that you can click on to get detailed information. With that being said, let's take a look at which neighborhoods were the most favorable to buyers and which neighborhoods were the most favorable to sellers. Starting off with the condo market, on the east side, the top 3 sellers markets were Maine, Fraser, and Renfrew. The top 3 buyers markets were South Vancouver, Hastings, and Killarney. On the west side, the top 3 sellers markets were Mount Pleasant, Kitsilano, and Southwest Marine. And the top 3 buyers markets were South Cambie, Oakridge, and Cole Harbour. Moving on to the townhome market. For the east side, the top 3 sellers markets were Champlain Heights, Mount Pleasant, and Killarney. The top 3 buyers markets were Collingwood, South Marine, and Strathcona. For the west side, the top 3 sellers markets were Fairview, Kitsilano, and Mount Pleasant. The top 3 buyers markets were Downtown, Oakridge, and Shaughnessy. Before moving on to the detached homes market, I want to thank you for watching, and I also want to let you know that I will continuously be providing these types of updates for the real estate market in the city of Vancouver as we continue to move through this transition. If you would like to be kept up to date, please click on the subscribe button or the follow button, or if you prefer, you can text me or email me. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or if there's any topics you'd like me to cover going forward, please mention them in the comment section below. Moving on to the detached homes market. For the east side, the top 3 sellers markets were South Marine, Killarney, and Hastings Sunrise. The top 3 buyers markets were Knight, Victoria, and Collingwood. On the west side, the top 3 sellers markets were Mount Pleasant, Kerrisdale, and Southlands. The top 3 buyers markets were University, Shaughnessy, and South Granville. At this point, it should come as no surprise that there are plenty of neighborhoods that are favorable to buyers. But as you can see, even though the real estate market has shifted dramatically over the last 6 months, there are still many neighborhoods that are also favorable to sellers. Now, that doesn't mean that sellers are getting multiple offers and prices that are above market. But what it does tell us is that many sellers are still able to sell at market prices and move forward with their plans. Please keep in mind that the sales to active listings ratios can fluctuate from month to month, and there's 3 things that you need to keep in mind when assessing neighborhoods as buyers markets or sellers markets when it comes to inventory. 1, some neighborhoods will have very limited inventory, which will lead to larger fluctuations in the sales to active listings ratio. The reason for that is, with limited inventory, there's limited variety of options available to buyers. In some months, those options will match exactly what a buyer is looking for, which will lead to higher sales to active listings ratios. But in other months, it will not match what buyers are looking for at all, which will lead to 0 sales in a very low sales to active listings ratio. 2, some neighborhoods will have overpriced inventory, and even though demand exists, the lack of inventory that's priced at market will prevent buyers from moving forward and will make a neighborhood look like a buyer's market, even though in reality it's an overpriced market. And 3, when it comes to the condo and townhome market specifically, there's another point that you need to keep in mind. In any given month, certain neighborhoods can have a large portion of their inventory consisting of pre-sale listings. Since pre-sale listings will not be ready to move into in at least a year to 3 years down the road, it may not be suitable for a lot of buyers that are looking to move in within the next 6 months. Since it's not suitable for them, the number of sales can drop and lead to a lower sales to active listings ratio, making it seem like that neighborhood is a buyer's market. This is why it's really important to monitor your areas of interest for multiple months so you can account for the month-to-month fluctuations and properly assess the inventory. Be market wise. Monitor what matters so that you can make informed decisions. As I mentioned earlier, if you would like to be kept up to date with the real estate market in the City of Vancouver as we continue to move through this transition, please click on the subscribe button or the follow button. Or if you prefer, you can text me or you can email me. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or if there's any topics you'd like me to cover going forward, please mention them in the comment section below. And lastly, I would really appreciate it that if you did find value in this video, if you can please click on the like button or the share button so others like yourselves can also get a chance to see it. To get a complete list of the neighborhood rankings for the condo, townhome, and detached home markets brought up in this video, please click on the link below. To find out how much homes are selling for and what the inventory levels are like in your areas of interest, you can also click on the link below, or if you prefer, you can call me, you can text me, you can email me. I promise you that I'll provide you with an informative, pressure-free conversation. Thanks for watching and have a great day.